Heyo! Welcome to the third and final room of this little home makeover. We certainly saved the biggest for last. This is the largest of all the bedrooms in the house, and we are going to need every bit of that space because, as I've mentioned before, we are going to kind of turn this room into a second living room of sorts. It is definitely going to be a multi-purpose room. It's going to be a room for Cody and I to sleep, as well as a playroom for Phoebe and an art studio for myself. Because generally, prior to this little mini home makeover that I've done, our system involved my art studio being in the kind of dining room area, and then Cody would usually be in the living room, like watching TV, playing games, that kind of thing. And then Phoebe would take all of her toys out of her room and bring them into the living room so that she could be in the same room as us. And that led to a very, very messy, unsightly, unlivable living room. So the plan is to create that room here, and then hopefully my living room will look decent 90% of the time. Fingers crossed. That's the goal. So I'm sure the painting looks familiar. This used to be Landon's bedroom, so it was the same exact design that we just created for him in his new bedroom, which we love it for him. For us, not so much. I want to go something a little more neutral. So right now we have the room demoed pretty much as we can get it. We have everything taken down. We've patched all the holes in the wall, and on one of the walls, it's real bad. It looks like somebody got shot up in this house. Landon had a climbing wall in this room, and I'm a little embarrassed to say it took me several tries to get each little climbing rock placed perfectly, so there were a lot of holes that needed to be patched. But it's done. We're here. We are ready to start painting. This room is going to have a lot more furniture than any other room, so we unfortunately kind of had to like clump a bunch of furniture in the middle instead of taking it out of the room. There's just nowhere to put it anywhere else. So we're going to have some stuff we got to work around, but I think we'll be okay. Now, it is imperative that this room functions well, so I needed to go in with a real plan. Please excuse my highly sophisticated mock-ups in paint, but here we go. This is the room as it is. We have the entry door here and a big old window across the way. Now, when it came to deciding on paint, we needed some black, since Cody and I both just love it. We're only going to do these two walls though. In a perfect world, I'd make the whole room black, but it would be so dark. And with all of my art, the filming, I need good light. So we're going to go white on these two walls across from the window. And I want to paint in a little greenery, maybe like some hanging vines or leaves, just something to add a mural element, but still keep it simple, keep it kind of earthy and neutral. That's the vibe for the studio. Now for furniture, we'll start by bringing in our sexy olive velvet sleeper sofa from the living room. With that, Cody and I have a place to sleep, but it's also going to function as a couch for family gaming, family movie night, that kind of thing. Now for our clothes, we are going to build in our own little DIY open closet here off to the side of the room. Now that covers the first function of the room, turning it into mine and Cody's bedroom. But now we need an art studio. So this entire half will kind of have a wraparound setup. It's going to be really functional, complete with 2 desks for creating, and lots of furniture solutions for art supplies storage, shop supplies storage, and more working surfaces for packing orders and whatnot. Okay, studio check. Now we need to work in a playroom for Phoebe. So in addition to what will be a large open play space for her, we're going to add a cube storage system for her toys, as well as a special art table just for her because she loves making art just like mommy. And then we're going to wall mount the TV above all of that, again, for family movies, gaming. I'm not going to lie, we are definitely cramming 10 pounds of stuff into a 5-pound bag, but this is the plan, so let's see if we can execute it. Starting, of course, with painting. Cody is hard at work doing the rolling, and it was not long before he was joined by his little sidekick, Phoebe. So helpful she is. Now we knew the 2 white walls were going to be brutal since we'd be covering dark purple and black, but oh man, we had no idea what a doozy we were in store for. This is coat number 3. Oh my gosh. This might take a while. We quickly burned through a can of primer and only had 1 can of Ultra Cover White. So by the 5th coat, it was clear we were going to need more. It just would not be a home DIY project if you didn't have to go to the store a second time to get more paint. Right, Phoebe?
Yes.
You ready to go in?
Yep.
All right, girl, let's do this. When I came back, I tried to make myself useful by edging the black walls, but it was clear those white walls were going to be a huge time suck. Cody had his hands more than full, so I stepped in and did the unthinkable.
I picked up a roller and tackled the black walls. Dun, dun, dun. Gasp, shudder, the horror. No, worry not. Somehow I managed. And as poor Cody plugged away through the night with layer after layer of white, I went ahead and started the hanging greenery mural portion of the black wall. Now, my original thought was to have this run the full length of the wall, but I quickly decided to scrap that and keep it just to the corners. Not only was I a little worried that it was going to be too much look-wise, but I was tired as hell by this point. Like, everything hurt. And it was there that Cody and I decided to call it a night.
Okay, so here we are, day 2. I couldn't even be bothered to do my makeup today because I'm having the worst allergy attack. It's just one of those days. Those of you that don't know, I have 3 cats that I am allergic to. Some days are better than others. This is not a good day. They're all in my eyes, they're all in my nose, but the room. We were at it really late last night and still not done. So this is with 4 coats of primer and 3 coats of pure white. I don't know how much more we're gonna do before we just say, you know what, good enough. Because both Cody and I, like, our arms are just trashed. They are so sore from just rolling over and over and over again. Last night I did manage to get the little like greenery leaves at the top of this wall painted. But that's just the base. I obviously have to go in with like darker greens, lighter greens to try and give them some dimension. And then I want to do the same thing on the white wall across, but maybe just like one big one in the middle instead of the 2 on the sides. I don't know. We're kind of winging it. It's kind of a mess today, but I'm ready to get it done.
So we did 1 more coat of white before deciding it was good enough. And we opted to take a break from painting altogether to hang a few random shelves, the TV mount, and tackle one of the biggest projects, hanging all of the brackets and shelves for our open closet. Everything went well, and when we did a little test run with the shelves in place, everything looked good. Success, and it meant I was able to move on. I was still definitely avoiding more painting. So I let myself get distracted with building my new second desk. This was the one and only piece of furniture we had to buy for this room. Everything else was furniture that already existed somewhere else in the house and had been reshuffled to go into the studio. It wasn't too tricky to build though. I've always loved assembling this kind of furniture, so it was definitely a welcome break from painting. But the break couldn't last forever, and the next thing I knew, I was on to spending the next couple of hours finishing up the greenery. By the time I was finished, I was so exhausted. I think with this being the 3rd room, like I was already running on fumes. This one just drained me. Empty tank. So I was happy to end the night there.
Oh, here we are, day 3. The painting is officially done, which I assumed that the painting would be done day 1. Unfortunately, it was not. But that's just all part of the process. You think something's going to take a certain amount of time and it ends up taking a lot longer. But we got it done. Unfortunately, because it did take us a day longer than I expected, Cody is now back at work. It's Monday now. The weekend is over, and the weekend was kind of our time to get this done. So it is just me by my lonesome having to put everything back together, move all the furniture and all that, but that's okay because I'm super big and strong. I'll be able to handle it. But I do think there is so much that needs to be put away, so much that needs to be organized. I don't know that it's all gonna get done today. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna rally. And if it goes into tomorrow, it goes into tomorrow. Those would just be like the very last minute fine detail finishing touches. I definitely think today we can get the bulk of everything organized, put away, the furniture where it goes. And I'm so excited to have my space back. I love how it's looking right now. It is definitely inspiring. It's making me feel like I'm ready to get into the studio and make some art for you guys. So yeah, let's get to it.
So this was my starting point with the paint job all finished, and I really was super happy with it at this point. I definitely think like my mood improved and a second wind hit when I saw that it was actually looking the way that I wanted. Let me say now, it was certainly worth all of the hard work. But I had to hit the ground running because now it was really time to start putting everything back together. I started with my art station, installing the camera mount to the wall and shuffling my desk on over. Next, I brought in the TV and then moved the cube organizer for Phoebe's toys into place. Next, this beast of a bookshelf, which actually used to reside horizontally in our closet. Well, now it's going to hold most of my art supplies. I decided next to get that closet set up. I was actually pretty excited to get that assembled, secured, organized. That kind of stuff just makes me so happy. And that wasn't a super harsh transition with a total shift in lighting because that took me several hours to complete. Well, with a huge chunk of the day gone, now it was time to get the sleeper sofa set up. I pushed the sofa portion into place and then did a quick vacuum. Question, is there anyone else out there that tries to do the Mrs. Doubtfire vacuum trick every time they vacuum and never nail it? Yeah, that's me. The quest continues. Time to roll out the rug. This rug used to be in our living room, and honestly, it looked fine there, but there was something about it being in this room that I didn't love so much. I don't know, maybe it's like the print is too busy. Unfortunately, though, there is a tiny spot in the carpet that Freddie has torn up. He did it back when we first got him, and if we don't cover that spot, he'll continue to dig at it. So the rug has to be there. But whatever, enough about the rug. I'm not sure if I've ever shared this before, but the sofa being a sleeper was actually another MacGyver DIY project from a while back. We originally had a sofa and a love seat. Then when we decided to give each kid their own room and sleep in the living room, I basically dissected our love seat so we could steal the base from it, attach it to the base of the sofa, and then we throw our massive memory foam mattress over the top. Bam, sleeper sofa. Not gonna lie, that mattress is a beast though, and it would have taken all of my strength and energy just to get it in. So I decided to wait for Cody to come home and help me carry that part in. So instead I shifted gears to getting the studio storage set up. I want this to be my order packing corner, so I need a few more surfaces here, like this shelf. And oh hey, Cody was finally home now, so he went ahead and helped me bring in the beast. And then we could get it set up with all of the bedding. Look at these ninja moves. I married that guy. Couch bed done. Added even more drawer storage here, and the last furniture item to bring in was the new second desk. I love that thing. And with it being within arm's reach of my art desk, I'm definitely going to be putting all of my go-to art supplies in the drawers. No lie though, with all that furniture moving, my arms, my feet, my whole body was toast. I decided I was going to be done for the night and we were just going to have to finish tomorrow. We were in the home stretch now, just the finishing details were left. So while listening to the best of 80s rock ballads, I brought in Phoebe's little art table, and I decided to set up a full-length mirror here because it gives you the perfect view of when you're standing in front of the closet, getting dressed. And then there was an empty space here that I decided to fill in with a little plant. Can never have enough fake plants in my home. I have hundreds. Of course, I had to find the perfect spot for my prized drippy clock. Bring in the chair. And on my new second desk, I'll be setting up my laptop and my printer. Okay, this was a piece I was super excited for. I consider it the wow of the room. I bought a few little greenery panels, the ones you can use to make a wall look like a hedge. Very popular for weddings and parties and whatnot. Anyways, I cut some down to kind of this blobby shape, attached a few random fake plants I had to spare, and then sat this fun little neon sign on top of it. It says good times, which I love so much because you can take it so many ways. Like, it could be innocent or it could be a little risque. I mean, it's a bedroom, it's an art room, and it's a playroom. Good times all around. And this should have been done well before moving the couch against the wall, but honestly, I forgot all about them. I needed to hang Cody's guitar and bass on the wall. But that's all right. Nothing a little towel to catch the drywall dust can't remedy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, let's really get this packing corner looking finished. I set up my Moonbin thermal label printer on top of these drawers, and then I added my other packaging label rolls beside that. And then for more usable surface space, I laid a wood shelf over the top of the plastic drawer organizers. Now there was a gap in the back, but that's easily fixed with, you guessed it, a fake plant. I told you, I have a ton. Then on that shelf, I put my sticker storage shelves. Oh, somebody help her, she empty. Only the drippy clock bookmarks and the monster cupcake stickers are still in stock. I need to make some more goodies pronto. Now, I am a sucker for salt rock lamps, and yes, even as an adult, I still appreciate having a nightlight. So here we go. Added yet another fake plant, and this paper tray organizer with a bunch of my packing materials, so now they're super easy to grab. Same with this little cart. I used to use it for my art supplies, but now that I have real storage for those, I was able to repurpose it and stock it with my thank you cards, my backing cards, envelopes, mailers, cardboard, so everything is super easy to pull out and assemble when it's time to pack my orders. Now on to some wall art. This is going to be the wall where I film my intros from now on, so I wanted some good new things, but also I'm still very attached to this book that is bursting with plants that I made for my last filming wall, so I did bring that over, and I was loving the neon sign vibe, so I made this new one that says, be cool or leave, because I truly can't think of any phrase that would better describe the channel environment that I'm trying to cultivate. Chill people only, please. Everyone else should know as soon as they see my intros that they can get gone. Gotta add my creepy toothy pot guy here with a few fake succulents. And this little bat that I found at an ethically sourced taxidermy shop, but she's a real little Gwenny. I recycled my little gold buggies onto this frame. Now they kind of look like the fancy pinned insects. Saw this on Pinterest. Cody and I loved it, so I just had to recreate it. Love Judgy Jesus. Fiddled a bit more with this setup. Added a fake orchid. Brought in my sweet little Voodoo Victor plushie, of course. Added a mini mushroom painting. Gotta add a little death head moth action. And let's finish it off with my big fake tarantula. Yeah, I know, it's not for everyone, but this wall definitely feels like me. Now for the shelf next to it, just some more fake plantery. Some books, my Lois Duncan collection, I love her so much. Part of my little golden tea set, and some Teefs. Y'all know I love Teefs. Now let me set up Phoebe's art supplies. She's got markers. She's got colored pencils. She's got watercolors, crayons. Plenty of paper, like what more could a girl need? I know. Fake plant. Then I could shift over to the big girl art table. I got this little Dollar Tree pegboard. It is nothing fancy, but I did think it would be a super cute spot to keep my scissors and sticky notes, maybe my ruler. Now on these little shelves, I wanted to add my paintbrushes and a few little knickknacks, like my other mini mushroom painting, the original Voodoo Victor, my mini dino skull paintings, and the rest of the golden tea set. All right, one last little weirdo decoration. My tiny skeleton. I call him Steve for no reason at all. Always up against a deadline, so I need my calendar front and center. Then it's on to my shelves. I wanted most of what I used to keep in my art supply closet to go here, so I've got a bunch of little baskets with various art supplies. Fabric paint, fabric dye, stuff to make labels, stuff to make magnets. String, ribbon, all my sealants like Mod Podge, that kind of stuff. Then as we move more toward eye level, the shelves hold some of my more regularly used art supplies, like my colored pencils. Oh, these are all actually kind of random supplies, metallics, dotting tools, blah, blah, blah. But here's where my most used utensils go. We're talking my sketching pencils, fine liners, juicy highlight pens. And of course, the frequently used alcohol marker set. I have a ton of markers. I have a ton of backup sets that I'm actually storing in the other desk. This is just the set that's currently in rotation. Below that, gotta set up all of my acrylics. Super satisfying. And this bottom shelf, I don't really have anything to put here, but I need to put something here. Otherwise, Prince will crawl in and chew on this fake plant that's behind here. It's his favorite to chew on, so I've got to block this somehow. And I'm thinking this big file box where I keep all of my prints, that might work. And then I'll take my signature black bubble mailers and slide them on the side here. Try getting past that, you little turd. All right, the last thing to do is to sort out all of Phoebe's toys.
I think you guys are ready for the 360 view before and after shots. Now, I would say this room is like 99.9% done. I have some things that I still want to hang in here. Of course, I have my Chuck Lee Sin City original that he gave me for our Secret Santa. I have to find somewhere to hang that. And then I have these two like awesome dinosaur prints. Oh, you hella see my light. This one and this one, and they're actually by Woke One, but he went out of his way to get me these prints and I adore them. You guys know dinosaurs are like the direct line to my heart. Anyways, I have to find somewhere to hang those. And then I kind of just want to get random prints from artists that I appreciate, have like some inspiration in my art room. But I think I want to live in it for a little bit first and see just kind of like what areas I film in most so that I'm not really like cluttering the backgrounds for those. I think the dinosaurs I want to put by Phoebe's art table because she loves them too. So that would be really, really cute to put over there. I have this spot by my laptop. I have some space over by the packing station. I did already by my art station right on the wall here. I hung my family portrait caricature. And then the sweetest letter that I ever received from a subscriber, it is just like when I'm having a rough day and I'm like, why do I do this YouTube thing? I read that and I'm like, that's why I do it. Good thing is those days aren't often, but man, when they happen, it's like you need to pull yourself out of it and that helps. So that's definitely going like front and center. I don't know if anybody is like me, but whenever I see some kind of like mini DIY renovation, something I'm always curious about is budget. I mean, that's the main reason to do anything yourself, to DIY, is to save some money. So for all three of these rooms, my budget was $1,000. All of the profit that I have made from my shop launches, minus taxes, minus money that I have to put back into the shop, getting more supplies, shipping, all of that. $1,000 was what I was comfortable with just kind of having to spend. So I made that the budget for the project. Now, general expenses for the project, that would obviously include our 2 trips to Lowe's, cost of paint, cost of lumber, light switch covers, just general costs like that. Ended up being $260. Now, specifically for Phoebe's room, we purchased her little overhead mini remote controlled fan. That was $20. We did buy her a mini size TV, a 24-inch. That costed $80. The corner mount for that TV costed $20. The corner shelves that were mounted in her room, those costed $10 for the set of 2. Her cute little nightlight that projects kind of the ocean waves onto the ceiling, that was $15. The step ladder to get onto her bed, again, that was a trampoline ladder. That one costed $30. The little safety bumper to make sure that she wouldn't roll off of her bed, that was $25. And the bookshelf we got that fit under her bed, that also was $25. All of those together, Phoebe's room total was $225. Now for Landon's room, we purchased the couch cover for $25. Again, I should have gotten 2. He did need a little kind of media stand under his TV just to hold his game systems, a couple cubes for toys, that kind of thing. And that was $30. The biggest expense in there was that beanbag chair. Those cost quite a lot, and he didn't even get the biggest size that was available, but that was $80. The LED lighting for the back of his TV, that was only $10. His cool little plasma lamp, that was $30. And then 2 of his favorite things were his mini fridge and his Oculus charging dock. We got lucky. Both of those were free. The fridge was free from Cody's work, and then his grandma bought him the charging dock for Christmas. So we were set there. His room, I think, ended up being the cheapest out of all of them at just $175. Now, again, these rooms really didn't get a lot of like new furniture. Everybody kept their bedding, that kind of thing. Those things just really helped keep the cost low. But then we can move on to the doozy, which, no surprise, was this room. It had the most transformations to make. It had the most functions that it had to serve. So there were a lot of things we didn't have that we needed for it. And then some things we didn't necessarily need but wanted. The biggest expense was a second desk. So I have my art desk, but I definitely needed another surface for using my laptop and printing. I feel like I was constantly shuffling my laptop around, so that was worth every single penny. It ended up costing $120. We had a lot of cube organizers, but we needed cubes to put in those organizers. We bought 2 sets of those that equaled about $50. Now, my little greenery neon sign, that was actually 2 different elements. Obviously, the neon sign itself, which we were able to find on Amazon, that was $30. And there was a crazy amount spent on the greenery behind it. I could not just buy a couple of panels. I bought them from Home Depot and they came in a pack of like 12. So I still have a ton of these little greenery panels just chilling around if anybody needs some greenery. I only used 4 of the 12 pieces in that sign. But that set was $50. We also put LED lights on the back of our TV, so that was $10. I desperately needed a new chair. The one I had, I bought brand new, and it was wicked uncomfortable. I think I spent like $60 on it. That was back when my studio was in the living room. So yeah, I wasn't trying to spend that kind of money this time around. I went to Goodwill, bought a chair for $10, and it is infinitely more comfortable. Go figure. And then this little Dollar Tree pegboard situation, I had to buy 3 different components at $1.25. We're just gonna say that I spent $5. It's easy. It's a good number. That's what I did for most of these. If something was like, say, $22, I just rounded it up to $25. So this is a very liberal tallying of what was spent on the project, but I'd always rather overestimate than underestimate. Anyways, that took the grand total for this room to $275. Now, if you add all of that up, the $260 for the general supplies, $275 for this room, $175 for Landon's room, and $225 for Phoebe's room, I spent $935, which is just below that budget that I set for myself. Pat on the back for me. But of course I couldn't stop there. Once I did the math and realized I came in under budget, I decided that the rug that we had in here was just throwing off the vibes so much. Wasn't loving it, so I splurged, spent $60 on a new rug. It's like a little faux cowhide rug. I adore it. And that took me to $9.95. Price is Right rules. Who got the closest without going over? This girl. I was so proud of my budgeting on this one. But then, of course, I completely blew the budget because now that the sleeper sofa that used to be in the living room is here, we had no couch for the living room. So we did have to go splurge and get 2 new love seats. They are fuzzy and wonderful. I love them so much, so comfy, and they have like the middle storage. They have cup holders. They're recliners. Like, I love these couches. With that being said, I think the 2 of them together were like $1,300. I mean, that's my whole budget and then some. But the nice thing is when you buy big furniture like that, you can totally make payments. So I feel like it didn't come out of this budget. I'm just making monthly payments on it now, which is fine. So yeah, Thank you guys so much for chilling with me while I did these 3 rooms. I know it's different from my normal content, but you guys seem to really like it, and I love that so much because I worked really hard on all of these. It feels so homey here now. I'm loving it. Cody's loving it. Phoebe's loving it. It is very functional for the 3 of us. I love Phoebe's little art table. I love that she can just spend time in here with me when I'm creating. And having the actual space, the storage for running the shop. Oh my gosh, it has been a game changer. I need people to come over to my house and hang out. No. Priorities. I'm going to use this room and I'm going to start making some art and pump out some more content for you guys this month. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.